Hi guys, welcome back. What a thriller. Scotland 24, Wales 25. Wales do enough to win. Scotland, a red card cost them as well, similar to Wales's game against Ireland. Is this going to be the theme? Wales win the Grand Slam and their opposition indiscipline cost them the games. I mean, being a bit facetious, but it just felt like deja vu. But anyway, let's get into the game. I really enjoyed it. Very exciting game. Again, Wales fans, how are your heart rates? There's going to be some problems, certainly with heart rates and blood pressures in Wales if this carries on. But anyway, 2 wins from 2. So 5 minutes in, Scotland penalties give Wales a sustained attack in the 22, and a third penalty gets them the points. It's 3-0 quite quickly on. And Scotland will be concerned with their discipline. They did give away a lot of penalties, but also Wales won a lot of good turnovers. So that was definitely a tick in Wales's box for this game, and something Scotland needs to be aware of. If they got their discipline a bit better, you'd fancy them to win it, to be honest. And a lot of this first half, after that first period of time, was Scotland. Scotland were looking really good. Matt Fagerson was looking good again. Van der Merwe, all game, super powerful, running through people, pushing people off. One of the form wingers of the tournament already. They win a penalty from those good attacks, 3-3, and it's shaping up for a good contest. Watson cleverly targets Tompkins for a good turnover, nearly gets 2 of those. Tompkins, very good player, very smart player, but he is small, but he is also very clever. He did set up a good try as well. Harris also looking really sharp in attack. Lots of Scotland players in attack really showing up nicely, the backline fizzing. Really good rip in the tackle from Wales. They actually did that twice as well, so they were definitely mucking up some of Scotland's ball. But again, in that first half, Wales were just not getting enough possession, similar to the Ireland game. They were a little unlucky to concede a penalty. Scotland go to a 5-metre line out, but Wales steal the line out. But then Scotland get it back, and a really nice offload from Russell. And then it's a really nice chip. I think Gray goes through then, and then Price gets a call from Darcy Graham, who was really busy all game. Lovely chip over the top, clean gather, try, beautiful try. 10-3 to Scotland, and Scotland are really starting to buzz at this point. Their attack's really flowing nicely. Russell, I did say he didn't look that focused last week. I was a little critical. Some of you came back and made some comments as well, saying, well, that's kind of how he is a little bit. But in this game, how focused was he? This is how he needs to be if he wants to be the Lions 10. A really good performance. Very impressed with Russell's passing, kicking and his physicality as well. Good all-round game, even though they did lose. And then another try on 24 minutes. Stuart Hogg, it's 17-3, amazing try. Solid scrum, good wraparound from Russell, puts in the pass. Hogg goes into space, goes half through, puts the chip in, then Halfpenny can't deal with it. A really good try, regather from Hogg. So it's looking great at this point for Scotland. You're thinking, wow, Scotland could be on for another brilliant win again. On 26 minutes, huge Scottish scrum. The scrum was looking decent. All Scotland, Hogg and Russell are firing an attack. It's really nice to see. Wales are working hard, but like Ireland, they're not getting the territory or possession. It's looking like a tough day at the office at the moment. Darcy Graham's speed forces a penalty from another Hogg chip ahead. They were very clever with their tactical kicks, Scotland. Real variety, causing Wales's backfield all sorts of headaches. They get to a 22 attacking line-out. Really clever line-out actually at this point. What Scotland do is they catch the ball at the front, shift it to the middle where it looks like they might drive the ball, but then they actually play it up off the line out or out of the line out quite quickly, which sets Graham away. But then a penalty stops a really good attack, so another good turnover from Wales. So, that was kind of the theme of the half. It looked like it was getting away from Wales, but then just at the right moment, there's a penalty, goes to a 10-metre line out, lovely ball movement, pass out of the tackle from Tompkins, which is what he can do, and a nice finish from Louis Rees-Zammit, the gas man himself. 17-8 gets Wales back into the game. They really needed that. So into the second half, on 41 minutes, straight away after half-time, Wales should be 5 metres out with a line out, but this annoyed me a bit. Dan Biggar his obsession with his banana kick. The banana kick's where you kick the ball off centre, and it does curl in a little bit, but you sacrifice a lot of accuracy. It's not a reliable thing because you have to kick the ball so off centre. There's a reason why not many people do this in World Rugby. It's much better to hit a straight end over end kick, laser straight for where you want it. That annoyed me. He doesn't make touch, and they lose territory and possession 50 metres down the pitch. Not long after this, actually, he gets hauled off bigger. But actually, just after that, Cummings looks like he's crashed over, but I think he loses the ball backwards. It turns into an obstruction. So Scotland could have been really well ahead then. And at that point, this is actually a really good move from Wayne Pivac. He's taken a lot of flack, but this was bold, good move. He takes off both of Wales's halfbacks, Gareth Davis and Biggar, hauled off just after half time. That is 100% him saying, I don't think you're playing well enough, we need to change it. It wasn't a planned tactical move, and it proved actually to be the right move. And indeed, straight away, some good ball movement, handling from Sheedy. Louis Rees-Zammit breaks through, but really smart play, doesn't just go for the line, puts Liam Williams in for an easy try. So then it's 17-15. And then the big moment of the game, so Wales just come straight back into it, and then the red card for Scotland. Now, let's go through this red card. It was probably on the lower end of the red cards you'll see, but by the letter of the law, it is a red card. So tough, but you just can't tuck your arm in and go into a ruck with your shoulder because you're asking for trouble. I know it's tricky to clear people out, but you've got to have your arms out to bind and actually drive people out of the ruck as you're meant to do, really. So a little tough, but it is a red card. And I put at this point, will this cost another victory against Wales, and will Wales benefit? And in the end, they did just. And immediately we see that impact, massive Welsh maul, driving maul, which they did a few of. On 55 minutes this is, and Wyn Jones goes over with the try. 17-20, ugly conversion looking kick from Sheedy, and I think he did another one of those later. That is a downside in Sheedy's play. His kicking isn't great. He doesn't go straight through the ball. He does create a bit of a hook on the ball at times, which is a problem. Anyway, so Biggar's off, Sheedy's on, good handling, not good kicking. Anyway, on 58 minutes, Scotland actually make quite a big call that nearly pays off as well. They take off a back, I think it's Darcy Graham, put on a forward, I think Richie Gray and another forward, to mean they have 8 forwards, so they can go toe-to-toe with Wales up front. And they actually get straight away, get a scrum penalty, big driving maul. They're 5 metres out. And then they have an interesting point here where they have a series of penalties from scrums, go for more scrums. Looks like it's nearly not going to pay because they want another scrum penalty to get a yellow card for Wales to even up the numbers. But even with a back down, Russell puts in a beautiful pass to Hogg. Hogg, too much pace for Watkin, I think. Hand off, try, brilliant try. 24-20, back in the lead. So he's looking absolute thriller at this point. Then a clever kick through from Sheedy on 68 minutes. Louis Rees-Zammit is very close, but Hogg covers that one. But he can't cover him a second time. Louis Rees-Zammit clear through on the wing, one-on-one, puts the chip ahead. Too much pace. Great finish, classic wingers try. Sheedy, poor conversion again, misses it, but they do sneak into the lead. 25-24, that's how the game finishes, but it's an exciting end to the game. Scotland throwing everything at Wales, and Wales were really disciplined at this point. Okay, it wasn't flash, but what they did is they made their tackles and they didn't compete. They didn't give the referee anything to penalise them for, stayed on side, spread out, made their tackles. Scotland were trying and trying and trying. A man down though, it is hard. End of the game, they're a bit knackered. They still managed to conjure one last bit of magic, and that's Russell offloading out of the tackle. In fact, Russell turns the ball over before this. What a good game he had. Van der Merwe looks like he might be away, and just a last-ditch tap tackle from Watkin results in the turnover eventually. Wales clear, and the game is over. Breathe a sigh of relief. So, I don't quite know what to read into that game. Some good discipline from Wales, but you'd think Scotland were probably the better team on balance. They will be gutted. But Wales are 2 for 2. They've got 2 weeks off now, and they're going for the title. Scotland will be absolutely decimated after a brilliant performance last week, and nearly a brilliant performance this week. Tough pill to swallow, but what a thriller. Please let me know your comments down below, and I will catch you guys next time.